So good morning students. We will be continuing with our next lecture of electrostatics, that is electric field. We will derive the definition of electric field, but prior to that we will assume some cases. Suppose you are having some charge here and here you have placed a neutral body. That means neutral body means it doesn't having a charge. Can this charged body attract this neutral body? Yes, the answer is yes. That means this charged body, it will apply the force on this neutral body by the induction concept that we have discussed in the earlier lectures. How it is the concept? That means you are having a charged body here. Suppose this is having charged body and this is neutral body. When a charged body is brought near this uncharged body, some of the charges in this body, suppose it is negative charge, they will get polarized. Positive, they will come near to this surface, and negative, they will come near to this surface. So they will means this, there will be a force of attraction between them. So a charged body will apply the force on uncharged body by the method of induction. So by the concept of induction, a charged body will attract the uncharged body. We have derived Coulomb's law in the earlier lectures. Note this in your mind. This is very much important. Coulomb's law is only applicable for point charges. That means you can't apply a Coulomb's law to a surface of charges, like means surface of a charge. It applies to only a point charge. Either it will be positive or negative. And this neutral object is not a point charge. This neutral object, this is not a point charge. So if any body is charged, suppose you are having a charged body, it will apply force over the space around that body. That means the charged body will apply a force around the space, in the space around it. A charged body apply force in the space around it. So what is this? This space around charged body in which force due to charge can be experienced, this is known as the electric field. What this electric field is? That means if we are experiencing force here, that means why we are experiencing force? Due to electric field. So electric field, what is this electric field? Electric field is the area around the charge in which force due to charge can be experienced. That means if we place, so this suppose this is a electric field of this charge. So this is the area. If we place any other charge in this area, this charge will experience a force due to this charge. So what is this charge is known as? This charge is known as source charge. And we have placed another charge. This is known as test charge. So this source charge is having an electric field, and if test charge is placed in the electric field of this source charge, a force will be applied on this test charge. So this is the concept. So this is the definition of electric field. First of all, first point that is mainly important is, first point coming is what is electric field. Next, characteristics of electric field. Suppose if the charge is if the amount of charge is less, electric field strength will be less. If the amount of charge is more, strength of electric field will be more. So this is the first characteristic of electric field. It depends on the quantity of charge. The force applied by the electric field depends on the quantity of charge. So what is this electric field? Means electric field is giving us the information about the force. So the effects of electric field may be strong or weak. Electric field may be strong or may be weak. What is this strong or weak? Known as intensity of electric field. If it is a strong electric field, we call it as a intensity of electric field is high. If it is a weak electric field, we will say that the intensity of electric field is less. This is a concept. Intensity of electric field that is denoted by bigger E in physics. As I've already told you that suppose this is the area, this is a source charge. Suppose this is a source charge and you are placing source charge is Q, and this you are placing a test charge here. They are having a distance of r between them. So that means a force will act on this test charge. So physics says that if electric field is having intensity E and you have placed a test charge Q, then what is the value of force? The value of force that is acting on the test charge is F is equal to Q into E. This force. So this is the formula of force. The force that is acting on a test charge Q, that is kept in electric field of intensity E, is F is equal to QE. Make it as number 1 or number 2, any number 1. Now you know that this is suppose this is a source charge and assume it as point charge, and this is test charge, and they are having a distance of r between them. So according to Coulomb, this charge will apply a force on this charge. So what will be the value of that force applied by, according to Coulomb's formula, what will be the value of force? 1/4 pi epsilon naught bigger Q small q upon r square. So make it as 2. So this is the force which is acting on test charge Q, and this is the force that is also acting on test charge Q, because we have we have taken two formulas related to the same condition. That means this force is acting on the test charge and this force is acting on the same test charge. So if this is F1, and this will also be F1, because these forces they are acting on the same test charge. One means in one condition we have used Coulomb's formula, in one condition we have used general formula, but both the formulas they are giving the value of force that are acting on a test charge and their value is same. So F is equal to QE, F is equal to 1/4 pi epsilon naught Q r square. So compare this equation 1 and 2, compare them. QE equals to 1/4 pi epsilon naught bigger Q small q upon r square. Q will cut with Q. So electric field intensity is equals to 1/4 pi epsilon naught Q upon r square. So electric field intensity due to a source charge is equal to 1/4 pi epsilon naught Q upon r square. What is this? This is the electric field intensity of a point charge, because we have derived this electric field intensity with the help of Coulomb's formula. So Coulomb's formula applies on point charge, so we will get the value of electric field intensity of a point charge only. Electric field intensity is equal to due to a source charge is equals to, due to source charge bigger Q is equal to 1/4 pi epsilon naught Q upon r square. So we have derived the formula of electric field intensity. Electric field intensity due to a source charge is equal to 1/4 pi epsilon naught Q upon r square. So first is F is equal to QE. Applying the Coulomb's formula, F is equal to 1/4 pi epsilon naught Q r square. Comparing Q cut with Q, this is the electric field intensity due to a point charge. We have taken that means source charge is a point charge. So this is the formula of electric field intensity. F is equals to QE. Remain the electric field intensity here. Bring Q on that side. So this is the relation of electric field intensity with test charge. So this is the relation of electric field intensity with the source charge. With source charge the relation is this, with test charge relation is this. So this is the relation of electric field intensity with test charge. So this is the relation of electric field intensity with the source charge, and this is test charge. As you know that F is equals to QE, electric field intensity is equal to F upon Q. Make this as 1 coulomb. Make this as, suppose this is 1 coulomb. So force will be equal to electric field intensity. So what is this electric field intensity? Electric field intensity will be equals to the force that is experienced by the 1 coulomb charge which is placed at some distance from the source charge. So we are getting a definition, another definition here. So if we make Q is equal to 1 coulomb, so what will be the value of electric field intensity? Intensity of electric field will be equal to the force, will give us the information about the force which is acting on a unit test charge placed at some distance. That means electric field intensity is the measurement of force. What it is measuring? It is measuring the force. If electric field intensity is high, force acting on the test charge will be high. If electric field intensity is low, force acting on the test charge will be low. So electric field intensity, it is depending on force, and force is a vector quantity. So electric field intensity is also a vector quantity, and the direction that is held by a force will electric field intensity will have the same direction as the direction held by this force. So E is equals to F upon Q. E is a vector quantity, F is a vector quantity, which will have the same direction as that of force. So now we will find out the units of electric field, put the unit of F and put the unit of Q. So what is the unit of force? Newton. What is the unit of charge? Coulomb. So what is the unit of electric field intensity? Newton per coulomb. So this is the unit of electric field intensity, Newton per coulomb. And if you want to find the dimensions of electric field intensity is equals to force upon charge. And what is the dimensions of force? Force is mass into acceleration. The dimension of mass is bigger m, and acceleration LT minus 2. And what is the dimension of charge? Charge is equals to current into time, because current is equals to charge upon time. And what is charge? Charge is equals to current into time. So charge is equal to current into time, current A. And what is the dimension of current A, and what is the time T? So the dimensions will become M, L, T, 1 here, minus 2 here. 1 will become minus 1 upper side, and minus 1 and minus 2, minus 3. A plus 1 here, and upper side minus 1 here. So these are the dimensions of electric field intensity. So this is very much important from the examination point of view. So now next topic is distribution of charges. Suppose we are having a conductor. So charge is conductor by the conduction method. So it will gain the charges. Where these charges will stay? They will stay on the surface of conductor, and they will come to the rest part, and they will rest. They will means think in your mind whether these charges which are present on the surface of this conductor, they are in motion or in their rest. They will become in rest. Means this charge will be repelled by this charge also. Repelled by this charge also. So both forces are acting. F1 is also acting on this charge due to this charge, and F2 is acting on this means one force is acting on this charge due to this charge F2. So F1 and F2 make this charge to come to rest at one position. So all the charges, they will rest at one position. So means the charges, they will stay on the surface of conductor, and net force on each charge is 0. Net force on each charge is 0. And they will distribute themselves. Why the charges are distributing themselves? They are distributing themselves now on the surface of conductor. They are distributing due to the forces of repulsion. at what distance they will remain? They will remain at such a distance, means they will remain at such a distance from each other that the net force on each charge is 0. So these charges, they will distribute themselves in such a way, or they will try to remain at such a distance that the net force on each charge is 0. So what the outcomes of our result? Charges, they will remain on the surface of conductor, and this distribution is known as linear distribution of charge. So this distribution is known as a linear distribution of charge. So this, take a conductor, consider its unit length. Suppose on unit length lambda charge is present. That means lambda charge is present on unit length. On one length lambda charge is present. On two length 2 lambda charge is present. On 3 length 3 lambda charge is present. And on 4 length 4 lambda charge is present. So this is the concept. Suppose this is a linear charge distribution, and you have placed a test charge here. Suppose we are having a linear charge distribution and we have placed a test charge here. That means this point charge will apply force F1, and this is also a point charge. It will also apply force F2, and this is also a point charge. This will apply force F3. That means 3 forces are acting on this charge. But if we want to apply Coulomb's law, if we want to know this force, but that Coulomb law hold only for point charge only, single point charge only. So there are the different forces. So we have no formula of force that is applied by the charges distributed on line. So we are not having any formula to find the force that is applied by the distribution of charges, linear distribution of charges. So we have to think a new way. What is that new way? We will consider a very small length of this linear charge distribution, dl, and we will assume that on dl length dq charge is present. We know that on a 1 length lambda charge is present, on 2 length 2 lambda charge is present, and on dl length dl multiply lambda charge is present. That means charge. And we are assuming that the dq charge is present on dl length, and what we are assuming the value of charge as a dq. So dq is equals to dl into lambda. Are you getting my point? So dq is equals to lambda into dl. Lambda is the charge present on unit length. So we will calculate the, suppose we are having this much amount of charge. So we assume that with this charge is applying the electric field intensity. We assume that the electric field intensity applied by this charge is dq. We assume that. That means we assume that the electric field intensity applied by this charge is dE. So dE is equals to, what is the formula of electric field intensity? We have calculated 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught charge upon distance of the test charge. So 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, what is this charge? dE is due to dq. d is due to dq upon what we have assumed, the distance, r square. So this is r. So this will be different, r1, and this will be different. So this is not constant. So this is changing. So that means we have found out the electric field intensity dE due to charge dq. Suppose you are having this as a dl1 small length and electric field intensity is small dE1, and you will consider another small length, that is dl2, and due to electric field intensity dE2, and you will consider another small length dl3 and electric field intensity dE3. There means this conductor, this straight conductor is made of this small lengths dl, so many dl's, and there will be so many de's, and if we want to calculate total de, we will add these, we will add all the de's, because now we are considering only a unit length unit length we are considering a length of dl only, so we have to calculate this for the whole length of the conductor. So what we will do, we will integrate de to find the total electric field intensity due to the linear charge distribution. So integration will occur in this side also. This is constant, so it will be outside. 4 pi constant, outside. Epsilon naught constant. dq is not constant. Charge is not constant. Upon r square. So what is the value of dq? dq value is dl into lambda. Put the value of dq as dl into lambda. 1/4 pi epsilon naught dl into lambda upon r square. Lambda is constant. It is the charge on unit length. dl is varying. We are having the different values of dl and r. So dl will come outside. Total electric field intensity means integration of dE. That means integration 1/4 pi epsilon naught. Lambda will be out. So what will remain? dl remain inside and r scale remain inside. So this is the total electric field intensity due to a linear charge distribution. So this means total all the dl lengths we will consider. We will add dl1, dl2, dl3, dl4, and we will all add all the distance r1, r2, r3, and we will get the total electric field intensity due to a linear charge distribution. So again I am repeating, we will consider a unit length of the charge, and we will assume lambda is the charge present on unit length, and on 2 length what is the charge? 2 lambda. On dl length what is the charge? dl into lambda. So different forces are acting, we are not having the formula, so what we will do, we will take a small length. What is the amount of charge? Lambda into dl. So we will assume that small charge as dq. So now we will find the electric field intensity due to this dq, that is we have assumed as de. de is the electric field intensity due to this small charge. So what is the formula of this d? 1/4 pi epsilon naught. d is due to dq upon r square. And what is the formula of dq? We have calculated dq is lambda into dl. We will put dq ki jagah lambda into dl. That means 1/5 means then what we are having? We are having so many de's: de1, de2, de3, de4, de5, de6, de7, because we are having different lengths dl1, dl2, dl3, and for dl1 we will get de1, for dl2 we will get de2, de3, de4, de5. We will add all the de's. That means we will do the integration of this de. That will give us the total electric field intensity due to linear charge distribution. Electric field intensity is equals to 1/4 pi epsilon naught constant. So we will make this outside of the integration symbol. So lambda is also constant. So we will put out what is not constant. dl is changing, dl1, dl2, dl3, and r is also changing, r1, r2, r3, r4. So when we will do this integration, that means we will be able to know the total electric field intensity due to a linear charge distribution. So this is all for today. Okay, now note down the homework. What is electric field? Define electric field. What is the force due to electric field? Derive the electric field intensity due to a point charge. Derive the units and write the dimensions of electric field intensity. You will have to write this also. And explain the linear charge distribution. So this is all for today. Hope you enjoyed today's lecture. We will be meeting in the next lecture. Thank you. Have a nice day.